What's up, guys? We are back with a full slate of MLB action here on Saturday, August 16th. We're going to give out plays on every MLB game on the slate. I'll give you my favorite underdog pick of the day and my massive lock, my pick that regardless of price, I think is the highest chance of cashing today. Slam that like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep seeing these videos every single day, and let us know what you're thinking in the comments. I personally answer every comment every single day. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and it pays to check back a couple of times per day to see if there are any changes with injury news coming out and starters being confirmed. Guys, I just thought we'd get baby Stump in here real quick so you could see how much he's grown, but we're gonna dive right in. We've got a big slate here to cover on Saturday. Looking at Friday's games, we didn't have a terrible time right out of the gates. Got off to a good start there at Boston at minus 165, a 2-1 win there for the Red Sox, but it was way closer than expected as Alcantara went out and somehow had one of his best starts of the season, allowing only a single run over 6 innings, and the Marlins bullpen was much better than normal, but Boston does eventually get the win from a rally there in the 9th inning and a walk-off single there from Story. So we'll take the win on that one. We had the Mariners at plus 100. That was a nice little win. Absolutely crazy 11-9 game, though, for Seattle. Both starters were absolutely terrible. Neither bullpen was great, but the Mariners pen held it down in the end, and the Mets continue to flounder. The Yankees came through in a very close game there against the Cardinals, so we'll definitely take the win on that one. It was a closer than expected game, but a win is a win. Unfortunately, the Diamondbacks managed to straight up lose to one of the worst teams in history there in the Colorado Rockies, so that was not what we were hoping for in that game, taking a minus 1.5. We still got the Padres live at plus 118. That ended up being a bullpen start there for San Diego, and we didn't mind that at all. Unfortunately, we bricked our lock of the day. We had the Astros at minus 235. We were really banking on Valdez having a huge bounce back start, but he wasn't a complete disaster, I guess, but giving up 4 runs, 3 of them were earned, and yeah, that was far from the bounce back we wanted and were expecting. The bullpen for the Astros was also uncharacteristically terrible, and the Orioles got an insane performance there from Brandon Young, who gave up only a single hit over his 8 innings. So now, guys, let's go ahead and dive in. We've got a full slate to break down here on a very busy Saturday, and first up is the Pittsburgh Pirates going on the road to take on the Chicago Cubs. The Pirates come into this game fresh off a kind of crazy 3-2 win there in Game 1 of this series at Wrigley. They're going to hand the ball to Mike Burrows in Game 2. He's 1-4 on the year, a 4.66 ERA. His last start, 5 innings, 3 hits, 4 earned runs allowed against the Reds, and a 14-8 loss. So, yeah, not great. The Cubs are only 1-4 over his last 5 starts. The Pirates are only 1-4 over his last 5 starts. In terms of his history against the Cubs, faced them back in mid-June. He was pretty good in that start, but we saw the Pirates eventually lose 2-1. The Pirates bullpen, while it was looking respectable there for a bit, has pretty much bottomed out at this point, and the offense, 3-5-0-1-8 1 and 3 over their last few is not good. I know they're coming off a win, so congrats on that, but they're last in the majors in runs scored. They're 26th in batting average. I don't have a lot of positive things to tell you guys about the Pirates right now. So we'll see what they do here in Game 2 at Wrigley. The Cubs, 68-53 on the season, not having the best time, not doing what they're supposed to be doing right now. They've lost 4 out of their last 5. They're going to hand the ball in this game to Shota Imanaga, hoping he can get them back on track. He's 8-5 this season, a 3.19 ERA. His last start, 6 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs allowed against the Cardinals, and was eventually a 3-2 loss. So Imanaga not looking his best in that one. We'll see what he can do here against the Pirates, a team that he faced back in April and was very good, but Imanaga was looking like a different pitcher there in April, and the Cubs were looking like a different team. So we'll see which version of him we get in this game. Their bullpen, it's been good this season generally speaking, but has not been that good down the stretch. And the offense swinging some of the coldest bats in the majors. 2-1, 4-1, 2, and 9 over their last few games. Not ideal. Despite that fact, the Cubs, they're still 5th in the majors in runs scored and 4th in slugging percentage. So I think they're going to figure this out eventually, but right now, not looking too hot. So looking at the numbers for this game, the Pirates are plus 185. The Cubs are minus 220. We've got a total of 9 out there. The Pirates are 17-42 on the road, 34-23-2 to the under on the road. The Cubs 36-20 at home, 26-26-4 to the over/under at home. I do think under 9 is very live in this game. It's probably my favorite lean because I have very little faith in the Cubs to win this game or any game right now with the way they're swinging the bats. Minus 220, that's way too big of a number. I'm not going to be on the Pirates at plus 185. I just don't trust them enough, but I do think under 9 is a reasonable spot. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Texas Rangers headed to Toronto to take on the Blue Jays. The Rangers hitting a very rough streak now, guys. They've lost 8 of their last 9 games, so that's not good. They'll hand the ball in this one to Patrick Corbin. He's 6-8 on the year, a a 4.00 ERA. His last 3 starts have all been relatively short and relatively mediocre, struggling against the Angels, the Yankees, and the Phillies. Obviously, those are some pretty tough teams. We'll see what he can do here against the Blue Jays, a team that is pretty much unarguably tougher than all of those. So I'm not expecting great things from Corbin in this one. The Rangers bullpen, it's been great this season. A 3.50 bullpen ERA, nothing to complain about, but how good are they going to be here against the Blue Jays? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I'm a little bit worried about that, and I'll always be worried about their offense. 5-4-2, 7-2-2, and 1 over their last few games. This team has struggled at the plate all year long. They're 28th in the majors in batting average. They're 28th in the majors in on-base percentage. Just not a team with a lot of great hitters. And they're taking on a Blue Jays team that is not messing around, guys. They are 5 games up in the AL East. They've won 4 out of their last 5. They're handing the ball in this game to Eric Lauer. He's 7-2 this year, a 2.82 ERA. His last start was against the Dodgers, and he didn't have a great time. 3 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs. That gave him a couple home runs as well, so not too good there. The Blue Jays, though, still win that game 5-4, in part because their bullpen was very good. Now, the bullpen in general, a 4.05 bullpen ERA isn't too incredible, so I do worry a little bit about the bullpen, but not too much. They've got a serviceable group out there. The offense is what's carrying Toronto right now. 6-2-1, 5-5-1-1, and 20 over their last few games. They're not hitting the cover off the ball right now, but they are 7th in the majors in runs scored, and they're still the number 1 on-base percentage and batting average team in the major league. So I'm not too worried about them at the plate. Looking at the numbers for this game, the Rangers are plus 123. The Blue Jays are minus 140. We've got a total of 8.5 in this game. The Rangers are only 24-35 on the road. They're a 500 over-under team on the road. Toronto is 40-20 at home, 34-24-2 to the over at home. I'm not that interested in over 8.5, guys, but I definitely like the Blue Jays here at minus 140. I think this is an excellent play. Could definitely make the pinned comment. I think Lauer, coming off a short start where he wasn't that good, is definitely going to be better this time out, go deeper into the game, and have a live arm. So definitely give me the Toronto Blue Jays here at minus 140. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Philadelphia Phillies heading to Washington to take on the Nationals. Now, the Phillies come into this game fresh off a 6-2 win in Game 2 of this series. Duran taking that liner off of his foot. The good news is the X-rays are negative, so that's something positive. Now, the Phillies are handing the ball in this one to Taijuan Walker. He is having a decent year, 4-5, but a 3.39 ERA. His last couple of starts, he's looked great, shutting down the Baltimore Orioles over 6 innings, and then doing a very good job against Cincinnati over 6 innings in that one as well. Honestly, his last 3 starts, and maybe even 4 out of his last 5 starts, have been very, very good. So loving what we're seeing right now from Taijuan Walker. We'll see what he can do here against the Nationals, a team that I don't... Oh, no, he did face them back in early May, and he was okay. 4 runs allowed, but only 1 of them was earned. It was a 4-2 loss. So keep an eye on that, but he's been throwing the ball great recently. The Phillies bullpen, never going to be too confident about them. A 4.22 bullpen ERA is not what you want to see. The offense, 6-2-0-1 over their last few games. Coming off a 6-run game, cool. Schwarber's up to 43 home runs, cool. This is not a team that I overly trust at the plate. So we'll see what they do here in Washington, taking on a Nationals team that at 49-73, they're way out of the hunt for anything important this year. They're going to hand the ball to Cade Cavalli. He comes into this game 0-0, a 3.86 ERA. It's only his 3rd start of the season. This 27-year-old coming up to the big league team looked okay against the Athletics, or I would say good. 4 1/3 innings, 3 hits, no runs allowed, 6 strikeouts and 1 walk. Then followed it up with a kind of mediocre outing there against the Royals. 5 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, gave up a home run in that game. Also walked 3, so we'll see what he looks like in this one going up against the Phillies. A little bit tougher of a situation. Now, the bullpen for the Nationals has been the worst bullpen in the majors all season long, so that's a pretty big uh-oh. And the offense, 2-3-8, 5-4-8 over their last few. They're hitting the ball pretty well. What will they do in this one? I'm not super high on their chances against Taijuan Walker, I'm being honest. They're 20th in the majors in runs scored and 22nd in batting average, so not a terrible team at the plate, but also not great. So looking at the numbers for this game, the Phillies are minus 150. The Nationals are plus 125. Got a total of 9.5 in this game. The Phillies are 32-31 on the road. 39-21-3 to the under on the road. So a big under team when playing away from home. Washington's 23-36 at home. 31-27-1 to the over at home. I actually think this is a pretty good spot to back under 9.5. I don't think we're going to see a massive amount of offense in this game. I think both starters will be pretty good. Am I worried about both bullpens? Absolutely I am. So that'll probably keep this out of the pinned comment. In terms of a side, I'll take Taijuan Walker in the Phillies here, but minus 150 feels about right. So I don't think there's a crazy amount of value to be found on this one. Hey guys, hopping here with a quick shout out to the sponsor of today and every day's video, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description to go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium members are getting daily MLB and UFC picks with NFL preseason mixed in there as well, and NFL regular season and college football coming up before you know it. Major League Baseball has been our most profitable sport the last several years in a row and has had a great 2025 season so far. At StumpTheSpread.com, you'll be able to see exclusive free picks that are only posted there, our free-to-use bet size calculator, which I highly recommend you guys take advantage of, and our premium top confidence picks, which might not and usually will not always match what you see here in the video, as I'm not the premium MLB handicapper for Stump the Spread. We've got a guy with many more years of MLB experience than I have. He goes very deep in his analysis of these games. He's got some very interesting, very in-depth tools and algorithms that he uses to make these predictions. So definitely somebody that is putting in the work for you every single day. And it's been some pretty good work here lately, I'll be honest. Now, back on the 14th, so the day before yesterday, obviously, he went 3-0. Cleveland, Nationals, and Tigers, all winners there. He's looking like he's backing it up with a pretty good day here on the 15th. Now, the Giants are kind of trying to mess it up for him, but got off to a great start with the Phillies there. A 1.8 unit play, cashing easily. Then he followed that up with the Guardians. That was a tough loss there for Cleveland, but the Yankees is a 2-unit play. That cashed as well, so the two biggest plays of the day coming through as wins. The Giants are still live as a 1-unit play. They're tied up with Tampa Bay there in the bottom of the 4th. The Royals cashed as a 1-unit play in that one as well. So very good stuff there for the premium members there on the 15th. Also, guys, on the 16th, there's going to be a ton of value in those premium picks because there is a massive UFC slate apparently, and a ton of NFL preseason games that are in the pinned comment as well. So definitely consider signing up for a premium membership. Is a ton of great information every single day. Also, guys, you got to get over there to StumpTheSpread.com to get on the free email newsletter list. It's absolutely free, straight to your inbox every single day. At least one, oftentimes two free picks. Parlays are included in those emails very often, and tons of information on niche sports betting like golf, NASCAR, all kinds of good stuff like that, guys. Lots and lots of value in that email, and all they need over there at StumpTheSpread.com from you is your name and your email address to get on that free email list. So definitely check that out. Also, if you're a huge fan of what you're seeing from us here every single day, you can click that little join button right below the video to become a YouTube channel member. YouTube channel members get early access to all of our videos, get their name up on screen in every single video, but more importantly, get access to our members only giveaways. We'll be giving away a Stump the Spread hoodie here on the 18th. So coming up very quick, another giveaway. We're doing a giveaway every single week. So definitely consider becoming a YouTube channel member if you want a chance to win some Stump the Spread swag. We don't even sell merch yet, so really winning one of those giveaways is your only way to get merch at the moment, but that's something we're definitely working on. I would love to have you guys able to buy merch from us sometime around the beginning of the NFL regular season. So we'll see if we can make that happen. But guys, we've talked about this for way too long. We got to dive back in. We've got a ton more games to cover here on a very busy Saturday slate. And next up, we're looking at the Miami Marlins heading to Boston to take on the Red Sox. The Marlins come into this game having a pretty rough time. They've dropped 6 out of their last 7. They lost 2-1 there yesterday. So slam that thumbs up button if you enjoyed cashing the Red Sox with us. Now, the Marlins are going to hand the ball in this one to Cal Quantrill. He comes into this game 4-9 on the season, a 5.09 ERA, but he's been throwing the ball well sporadically here down the stretch. His last 2 on the mound, 4 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run given up there against the Atlanta Braves. Now, the Marlins did eventually lose that game 7-1, so he pitched well, but it didn't really make a huge difference. He has had his terrible starts mixed in there, so we'll see what he does here against Boston. Obviously not the easiest team to face, and he hasn't faced them this year. The Marlins bullpen looking worse and worse as the season goes on now. They had some peaks, but looks like they're going through a valley, and the offense 1-4-13, 3-1-6-1 over their last few games. Not swinging the hottest bats. This is a reasonable offense. So they're 9th in batting average and 17th in runs scored. So definitely not a team you can just look by. They've got some real hitters. Now, the Red Sox come into this game 67-56 on the year. They've cooled off a little bit. They're 5 games back now of Toronto in the AL East. They're going to hand the ball to Brian Bello in this game. He's 8-6, a 3.25 ERA. His last start, he got shelled pretty aggressively there by the Padres. Now, he had been throwing the ball really well, 2 good starts in a row, but yeah, struggling against the Padres, maybe not the best look at this point. I don't think, he has not faced the Marlins this year, so we'll see how that goes, but Brian Bello, definitely somebody you have to keep a very close eye on if you're expecting miracles from him. The Red Sox bullpen, it's been excellent this year, no doubt about that. One of the best 2 or 3 bullpens in all of Major League Baseball. The offense, not swinging the hottest bats. 2-1, 14, 6, 2, and 4 over their last few games. This is a potent offense. They're 3rd in the majors in runs scored, 5th in batting average, but I'm not super stoked about how they've swung the bats their last couple of games. So looking at the numbers for this one, the odds makers aren't too worried. The Marlins are plus 150. The Red Sox are minus 178. We've got a total of 9.5. Miami is 30-32 on the road, 31-29-2 to the over on the road. The Red Sox are 39-22 at Fenway. They are 32-27-2 to the under at home. I don't despise under 9.5 in this game, but I don't love it. In terms of a side, I'm not going to back Cal Quantrill in this spot. Even at plus 150, I don't think it's good enough value. So give me the Red Sox as a default, I suppose, but I do not have nearly as much faith in them today as I had yesterday. Next up, guys, we got the Seattle Mariners going on the road to take on the New York Mets. The Mariners come into this game 68-55 on the season, fresh off that insane 11-9 win there yesterday in Game 1 of the series. So slam that thumbs up button if you enjoyed cashing the Mariners with us, but man, that was a wild ride. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Brian Wu. I'm sure they're hoping it'll be a much more reasonable outing as they try and overtake the Astros there for the top spot in the AL West. Wu comes into this game 10-6 on the year, a 3.08 ERA. His last start was fine, 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs against Tampa Bay. He did strike out 9 in that game, but definitely not his best stuff. He has looked a little bit all over the place recently, but definitely not bad. I mean, they're still winning games when he's on the mound. In terms of his history this season against the Mets, they're not a team that he's faced, so we'll see how that goes, but I'm expecting Wu to go out there and be very good. The Mariners' bullpen's been very steady this season, a 3.66 bullpen ERA. The offense, coming off an 11-run game, I'm sure feels great. Really took advantage of the Mets' bullpen. Cal Raleigh, 46 home runs, just cracked 100 RBIs. They're 10th in the majors in runs scored and 12th in slugging percentage. Numbers they would have killed for a season ago. So we'll see what they do here against the Mets, who come into this game, guys, 64-58 on the year. They're making some changes there in the lineup, trying to figure things out because it hasn't gone great. We're going to see, we'll see. Nolan McLean coming in for his Major League debut, so we'll see how that goes. The Mets absolutely struggling right now. This young 24-year-old's coming up, making his MLB debut. We'll see how that goes. Maybe he'll be nuts. Maybe he'll struggle here against the Mariners. We'll see what happens. Now, the Mets' bullpen's been terrible recently, a 3.87 bullpen ERA, and they got to be a little bit tired out there in the pen after yesterday, so definitely worried about that. And the Bats, while they did put up 9 runs yesterday, this team, with all the names, guys, is not hitting the ball well. They're down to 21st in the majors in batting average. They are 11th in on-base percentage and 14th in runs scored. Not the scariest offense. So looking at the numbers for this game, guys, the Mariners are minus 130. The Mets are plus 110. A total of 8.5. Seattle's around a 500 team on the road. They're 32-27-1 to the over on the road. The Mets are 39-23 at home, 30-29-3 to the under at home. I'm not backing the Mets right now, really under any circumstances. So definitely giving the Mariners here at minus 130. This is a play that could definitely make the pin comment. Not really in the business of backing young guys making their MLB debut unless there's some sort of like absolute psycho. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see what he looks like, but I think the Mariners have a great shot to win this game, if not against the Mets starter, then against their bullpen. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Milwaukee Brewers headed to Cincinnati to take on the Reds. The Brewers come into this game fresh off a crazy 10-8 win there yesterday. Yelich hitting a couple home runs. Mizorowski coming off the IL was actually terrible, so that's not great news, but they get the win anyway, and they'll hand the ball in this one to Quinn Priester. He's 11-2 on the year, a 3.49 ERA. His last start, probably his worst start of the season. He got obliterated there by the Mets. Not something that happens all the time, but these Brewers, guys, these insano Brewers still managed to win the game 7-6. So we'll see what he does here against the Cincinnati Reds, a team he faced back in early June and was lights out over his 5 innings in a 9-1 win. So I'm expecting Priester to go out there and bounce right back and be very, very good. The Brewers' bullpens rounded into form here late in the season, a 3.88 bullpen ERA. Certainly reasonable stuff there. And the offense, it's been going nuts over this 13-game winning streak, guys. I mean, 10, 12, 14, 7, 7, 7, 3, 5, and 7 over their last few games. It's been nuts. Absolutely nuts. So we'll see what they do here against the Reds. They come into this game obviously fresh off a pretty disappointing loss. They'll hand the ball to Zach Littell. He is 9-8 on the year, a 3.60 ERA. My twin brother, since coming over to his new team there in the Reds, has looked decent. Great start there against the Cubs, and then a pretty middle-of-the-road start against the Pirates. Now, both games were wins for the Brewers, so that's, both games were wins for the Reds, but we'll see what he does in this outing facing the Milwaukee Brewers. I mean, they can be a little bit rough of a team to face, especially right now, but he had a great start against them back in early May. So looking at the bullpen for the Reds, I'm not too upset. A 3.95 bullpen ERA is obviously not great, but they've shown that they can be a pretty good bullpen unit at times. The offense, 8-8-6, 1-14-2 over their last few. This offense is just all over the place all the time. They're 10th in runs scored, but 21st in slugging percentage. Hard to know what you're going to get from them on a night-to-night basis. So looking at the numbers for this game, the Brewers are minus 130. The Reds are plus 110, a total of 9 in this game. Milwaukee's 34-24 on the road. That's an MLB best road mark. They're a 500 over-under team on the road. The Reds are 35-26 at home, 38, 18, and 5 to the under at home. That's an MLB best to the under when playing at home. I don't care that it's a Great American Ballpark, guys. I think under 9 is an excellent value in this game. I can't believe this isn't an 8.5 or a game or something like that. With Priester on the mound and Littell on the mound, maybe, neither one's coming off the best start, so maybe that's the reason, but I definitely love under 9 in this game. I also think there's, pretty good reason to back the Milwaukee Brewers because they win every game they play these days. So I'll take the Brewers as a small lean, but that under looks very, very good. Rolling along here, guys, we're looking at the Atlanta Braves headed to Cleveland to take on the Guardians. The Braves at 54 and 68 on the year, not headed anywhere important, but they've won 3 in a row and 6 of their last 7. They'll hand the ball in this one to Joey Wentz. He is sporting a 5.03 ERA. His last few outings, he's done some positive stuff. He's done some negative stuff. He had a great start against the Royals, a bad start against the Brewers, and then a great start his last time out against the Marlins. That wasn't a 7-1 win, so that's a big positive. We'll see what he can do against Cleveland. Obviously not the scariest offense out there. Since coming over from Minnesota, he's thrown the ball really, really well for the Atlanta Braves, so we'll see. He faced Cleveland back in the very early season when he was coming out of the bullpen, had some mixed results. The offense for the Atlanta Braves and their bullpen. Well, the bullpen for Atlanta has been fine, but not dominant and definitely not great. The offense, 2, 4, and 11 over their last few games. So they're in the ball all right, but maybe not amazing. Acuna coming back, definitely helpful. They're 19th in the majors in runs scored, 20th in batting average, and 13th in on-base percentage. So definitely not a team you can take too lightly. The Guardians, definitely not a team you should take lightly either, as they're in the playoff hunt for sure. Coming off a loss, though, and getting shut out is a bit of a tough look. They'll hand the ball in this game to Slade Ciccone. He's 5-5 this year, a 4.11 ERA. He got knocked around aggressively by the White Sox his last time on the mound. That is not a great look. Before that, he'd had 3 serviceable starts in a row when your good starts against the Mets, Rockies, and Orioles. I don't know how jazzed up I'm supposed to get about that. He hasn't faced the Braves this season, so we'll see how that goes, but I'm a little bit worried about Ciccone on the mound right now. Not too worried about the Cleveland bullpen, though. A 3.57 bullpen ERA, definitely among the better ones in the majors. The offense, 0-9-4, 4-4, 3, and 9 over their last several games. This just isn't a team with a whole lot of strengths at the plate. They're 29th in the majors in batting average. They are 27th in on-base percentage. I don't know. Jose Ramirez is supposed to carry the load. The dude's having a decent season, but not good enough to carry a whole team. So we'll see what happens there. Looking at the numbers, the Braves are minus 105. The Guardians are minus 115, a total of 8.5. Atlanta's 22 and 38 on the road, 30, 26, and 4 to the over on the road. Cleveland's 31 and 28 at home, 30, 28, and 1 to the over at home. I'm not showing a ton of value on this game either way. I'm a little bit worried about Joey Wentz out there, so maybe I side with the Guardians here in a bounce back after losing game 1. But this isn't going anywhere near the pinned comment. Next up, guys, we got the Baltimore Orioles heading to Houston to take on the Astros. The Orioles got the 7-0 win there at Houston in game 1. Young flirting with that, perfect game, no-hitter game, all that kind of stuff. Didn't end up happening, but he really took advantage of an Astros team that is just annoying as hell to me, if I'm being honest. The Orioles will hand the ball in this game to Cade Povich, who's 2-6 this season, a 4.95 ERA. His last start was actually pretty good there, hanging on against the Athletics, 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, but that has not been the norm for him down the stretch this season. That's only his 3rd start since coming off the IL, so we'll see which version of Cade Povich we get in this game. Obviously going up against a team that can't hit like the Astros, probably doesn't feel terrible. The Orioles bullpen, though, it's been pretty terrible this season, one of the 4 or 5 worst bullpens in the majors, and the offense, 7, 5, and 4 runs over their last few games is definitely hot hitting for a team that just fell off the side of the earth after last season. Not nearly as good at the plate this year. 21st in runs scored, 15th in slugging percentage. Not a lot of super scary bats out there. So we'll see what they do here against the Astros, who at 68 and 54 on the year. They're only a half game up on the Mariners there in the AL West. They're going to hand the ball to Jason Alexander. He is 3-1 on the year, a 5.02 ERA. His last couple starts have been some of his best work of the year. Shutting out the Marlins over 6 innings in an 8-2 win, then shutting out the Yankees over 6 innings in a 7-1 win. Very, very good stuff, and honestly, 4 out of his last 5 starts. So we'll see if he can keep that rolling here against the Orioles, who are, swinging the bats pretty well, I guess, for them at the moment. The bullpen, I don't know, man. The Astros bullpen's been good at some points this year. Actually good at most points this year, but really not looking incredible at the moment, and the offense has just disappeared. 0-4-1, 7-7, 4, and 5 over the last few games. Really, those last 3 games have been pretty noticeably mediocre at the plate. They're 3rd in the majors in batting average and 9th in on-base percentage, so maybe they'll turn this thing around, but I'm not feeling great about the Astros at the moment. So looking at the numbers for this game, the Orioles are plus 120, the Astros are minus 140. We've got a total of 8.5 in this one. Baltimore's 25 and 36 on the road, 39, 20, and 2 to the under on the road. That's actually an MLB best mark to the under when playing away from home. Houston's 37 and 25 at home. They are 33, 27, and 2 to the under at home. Even though I'm not in love with either one of these starters, neither one of these offenses is great, so under 8.5 is in play for me in this game for sure. In terms of a side, I'm so fed up with what I'm seeing from the Astros, I almost want to fade them in this spot, but I'm addicted to fading Cade Povich here, so give me Jason Alexander and the Astros at home, but not a play that I'm making in the pinned comment at all. Cruising through these games, we're looking at the Chicago White Sox headed to Kansas City to take on the Royals. The White Sox obviously at 44 and 78, not even the best time. They just lost there yesterday 3-1 in Kansas City. They'll hand the ball in this game to Sean Burke. He comes into this game 4-9 on the season, a 4.26 ERA. His last start, 3 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs surrendered there against Cleveland in a 3-1 loss. I mean, over his last 5 starts, his numbers haven't been terrible, but they're not letting him go very deep into games. We'll see what he does against the Royals, a team that he had a pretty good start against back in early May. So we'll see if that holds up here for this young 25-year-old. Obviously, the White Sox bullpen, a 3.74 bullpen ERA is way better than anyone I think would have expected coming into this year, but the offense has been bad enough that's kind of sunk them. 1, 0, 9, 1, 6, 1, and 5 over their last few games. Over the course of the year, this team is 27th in the majors in runs scored, last in the majors in batting average, and 29th in on-base percentage. Not a lot of positives going on right now for the White Sox. Now, the Royals come into this game 61 and 61 on the year, keeping themselves in the hunt. They hand the ball in this game to Michael Lorenzen. He's 5-8 on the season, a 4.61 ERA. Coming off that oblique injury, coming off the IL. We'll see how it goes. The last time we saw this guy pitch was back on July 6th, and he was nuts. 7 innings, 2 hits. No runs allowed there against, back then, the very dangerous Arizona Diamondbacks offense. So we'll see what he does in this one going up against the White Sox, obviously one of the easiest teams you can face. And he had a great start against them back in early June. So this is definitely a great spot for Lorenzen to get back out there. Obviously, the Royals bullpen could be in for a little bit of extra work in this game, but they've been good this year, a 3.75 bullpen ERA. In terms of their offense, 3, 7, 8, 7, and 3 over their last few is hot hitting for this team. We've seen Salvador Perez hitting the ball really, really well. They are still 28th in the majors in runs scored and 23rd in slugging percentage. So not necessarily amazing offensive numbers. So looking at the numbers for this game, guys, the White Sox are plus 145. The Royals are minus 165. Got a total of 9.5 in this game. The White Sox are 18 and 41 on the road, 34, 22, and 3 to the under on the road. The Royals are 30 and 29 at home, 34, 24, and 1 to the under at home. I don't even think we have to mess with the side in this game. I mean, I do like the Royals, but I think the under is a drastically better value. Sean Burke is not terrible. The White Sox bullpen is not terrible. The Royals offense is terrible. The White Sox offense is also terrible. Lorenzen's coming off the IL. That's the only thing that really scares me here, but he does have positive history against this team. I'm going to go ahead and side with the under 9.5. You're begging me for a side. I will take the Royals, but I don't care about that too much. Under 9.5, definitely going in the pinned comment. Next on the docket, we've got the Detroit Tigers heading to Minnesota to take on the Twins. The Tigers come into this game 72 and 52 on the season, winners of 5 out of their last 6, so it seems like they're turning things around. They'll hand the ball in this game to Casey Mize. He's 11 and 4 on the year, a 3.50 ERA. His last start, he was against the Angels, 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs allowed in a 9-5 win. That doesn't look too bad. He also faced the Twins back on August 4th. 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs in a 6-3 win. Doesn't look quite as good, but I'm not too worried about Casey Mize in this matchup. The Tigers bullpen is still a concern. Currently sporting, what is it sitting at now? A 4.11 bullpen ERA, although that number has been headed in the right direction recently. The offense kind of figuring things out. 7, 4, 1, 6, 2, and 9 over their last few games is much better than what they were doing there for a pretty big chunk. I would say 15, 20 plus games this offense was struggling, but they're still 8th in the majors in runs scored and 8th in slugging percentage, so I'm not going to freak out too much. They'll be taking on a Twins team that comes into this game 57 and 65 on the year, so their season's pretty much fading away. They'll hand the ball to Zebby Matthews in this game, who's 3 and 4 this season, a 5.11 ERA. His last start was against the Yankees back on the 11th. 5 and 2/3 innings, 6 hits and 3 earned runs in a 6-2 loss is not horrible. The last time he faced the Tigers, though, that was in Detroit, 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run in a 6-3 win. That is pretty good and pretty relevant to this matchup. So we'll see what goes on here. The Twins' bullpen is a problem, a 4.33 bullpen ERA, but not drastically worse than the Tigers. Their offense, though, is drastically worse. 0, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 5 over their last few games. They're all the way down to 23rd in the majors in runs scored and 23rd in batting average. This is simply not a team you can trust to put up any runs on a nightly basis. So looking at the numbers, I'm a little bit surprised. The Tigers are minus 115. The Twins are minus 105. A total of 8.5 in this game. Detroit's 31 and 28 on the road. 34-25 to the over on the road. Minnesota's 32-25 at home, 29-26 and 2 to the under at home. I do think this is a pretty reasonable spot to back Detroit at minus 115. I'm not sure if it's going in the pin comment. Obviously, they're not nearly as good on the road as they are at home, but I do think with Casey Mize on the mound, they're probably in good shape to win this game. Zebby Matthews does have some positive history here, but I am not a big fan of the Twins' bullpen. Rolling right along, we've got the New York Yankees headed to St. Louis to take on the Cardinals. The Yankees came through for us yesterday with that 4-3 win, so slam that thumbs up button if you enjoyed cashing the Yankees there with us. They're going to hand the ball in this game to Max Fried. He is 12-5 this year, a 2.94 ERA, but his last couple starts, maybe his last 4 starts even, have not looked like his normal dominant self. Now, the Yankees are only 1-4 over his last 5 outings, and 5 innings, 8 hits, and 4 earned runs surrendered against the Astros doesn't exactly fill me with optimism. So I'm worried about Max Fried if I'm a Yankees fan for sure. In terms of their bullpen, that hasn't been all sunshine and roses down the stretch either. A 4.25 bullpen ERA is not what you want to see. The offense, 4-1-9, 6-1, and 5 over their last few. I know this is supposed to be one of the better offenses in the majors, and they are still 4th in runs scored, but I mean, I don't know. The Yankees should be concerned at this point about even making the playoffs. It hasn't been great down the stretch. They're still 1st in slugging percentage, so maybe they'll slug their way to that playoff berth. They're taking on the Cardinals, who, losers of 3 in a row, their playoff hopes are definitely fading. They'll hand the ball in this one to Sonny Gray. Their ace is 11-5 this season, a 4.06 ERA. His last couple of starts, he's looked a lot more like an ace. All of a sudden, still just snapped out of it. 7 innings, 1 run, 1 hit allowed there against the Dodgers in a 3-2 win. Then 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 of which was earned, allowed there against the Cubs in a 3-2 win as well. So we'll see. We'll see if we get that kind of production from Sonny Gray. I'm not going to be holding my breath whatsoever for that one. Now, the Cardinals bullpen, it's been good pretty much all year long. Some rough goings in the early portion of the season, but a 3.60 bullpen ERA now. Definitely nothing bad to say about that. The bad stuff I have to say about the Cardinals mostly surrounds their offense and their starting rotation. The offense, 3-5-0, 3-3-1 over their last few games is terrible. The bottom's fallen out pretty much. They're 16th in runs scored, 13th in batting average. They've had some injuries as well, so not a lot of positives right now for the Cardinals offense. Looking at the numbers for this game, the odds makers do like the Yankees. They're minus 145. The Cardinals are plus 122. We got a total of 8 in this game. The Yankees are 27-32 on the road, 29-27-3 to the over on the road. The Cardinals are 35-27 at home, 31-27-4 to the over at home. Guys, this feels a little bit sketchy, but I'm very seriously considering backing the Cardinals here at plus 122. They've been a much better team when playing at home. Sonny Gray's thrown the ball the best he's thrown it all year long. Max Fried throwing the ball maybe the worst he's thrown it all year long. The Yankees bullpen terrible. The Yankees offense struggling. I know the Cardinals bullpen is excellent. Their offense, not so much, but I definitely think at plus 122, we have to consider the Cardinals strongly here as a potential dog of the day. Next on the docket, we've got the Arizona Diamondbacks headed to Colorado to take on the Rockies. The Diamondbacks at 60-63 on the year, kind of on my bad list after a 4-3 loss there yesterday, but they've got a chance to bounce back today, handing the ball to Ryan Nelson, who's 6-3 on the year, a 3.46 ERA. His last start, not the best, 5 1/3 innings, 7 hits, and 5 earned runs allowed there against the Rangers in a loss. So we'll see if he can bounce back, but bounce back against the Rockies should be fairly doable. Now, he hasn't faced Colorado this season, it appears, but yeah, they're not exactly the scariest group out there. Now, the bullpen for the Diamondbacks, obviously terrible, but looking a little bit better down the stretch, but still pretty bad. The offense, coming off a 3-run game against the Rockies there is not ideal, but they have been hitting the ball pretty well recently, and still, over the course of the year, are 6th in runs scored and 2nd in slugging percentage, so I'm definitely not writing off this team at the plate. Their opponent in this game, the Rockies, they're 33-89 on the year. Kind of historically bad, but they've somehow won 3 out of their last 4. They're hitting the ball in this one to Chase Dollander. This young 23-year-old is 2-9 this year, a 6.35 ERA. He is coming off an excellent start there against the Cardinals, but that was in a 3-2 loss. Over his last 5 outings, he's had some good ones, had some negative ones. We'll see what he does here against this hard-hitting Arizona Diamondbacks team. He didn't have a great time against them back in mid-May, but this is a different Diamondbacks team. So we'll see how that goes for him. Obviously, the bullpen for the Rockies might actually be the worst in the majors. We'll see, but they're looking terrible. And the offense, 4-2-6-3-2 over their last few games is still atrocious. They're the worst on-base percentage team in the majors. They're the 2nd lowest scoring team in Major League Baseball this season. So looking at the numbers for this game, the Diamondbacks are minus 190. The Rockies are plus 158. We've got a total of 11.5 out there. Arizona's 29-32 on the road, 29-28-4 to the over on the road. The Rockies are 16-42 at home. That's an MLB worst mark at home. They are a 500 over-under team at home. I'm definitely siding with the Diamondbacks here at minus 190. With Ryan Nelson on the mound, I think it would be silly to not consider this as a potential lock of the day. I'm not in love with making a team that's bad like the Diamondbacks my lock of the day, but Chase Dollander, not that great. The Rockies bullpen, maybe the worst bullpen in the majors. I think the Diamondbacks have a chance to win this game in blowout fashion after losing yesterday. Next up, guys, we've got the Tampa Bay Rays heading to San Francisco to take on the Giants. These two teams are actually playing right now. Things tied up at 6 apiece now in the middle of the 6th inning. So the premium members, hopefully they can get the Giants to come through for a win, and that would give them a very, very profitable day. The Rays come into this one. Obviously, we'll see how they finish that current game, but they're going to be in the ball to Adrian Hauser in this game. He's 6-4, a 2.84 ERA. He's made 2 starts for his new team and really struggled against both the Angels and the Mariners, so a chance to bounce back here against a weak-hitting Giants team. The bullpen for Tampa Bay hasn't been atrocious this year at all. A 3.70 bullpen ERA, definitely respectable, but the problem for this team down the stretch has been their lack of offense. Now, the last couple of games, that is looking better, so maybe they're snapping out of this slump, but it was a pretty long slump, guys. I would say 20 or 30 games, they were really struggling at the plate, not looking like the top 10 offense they were supposed to be. So we'll see what they can do here in San Francisco. The Giants currently trying to snap that losing streak. They have not had a great time. They're going to hand the ball in this game to Justin Verlander. He is 1-9 on the season, a 4.53 ERA. His last start got lit up by the Washington Nationals, and yeah, it's rough. It's been a rough year for Verlander. He's had some really good starts that have gotten wasted. He's pitching for a Giants team that is so bad at the plate, even when he has a good outing, like those good outings he had against the Pirates, they can still lose these very low-scoring games. So I feel bad for Verlander. I don't feel bad for that Giants bullpen, though. Second best bullpen in the majors. Their offense, pretty rough. It's crazy they put up 6 runs in their current game because they've scored 1, 1, 1, and 0 in the 4 games before that. Their offense, I don't know. That's what's really held this team back. They're 27th in the batting average, 25th in runs scored. They tried to make, a big splashy move to shore up that offense. Well, it didn't really work. So looking at the numbers for this game, the Rays are plus 110. The Giants are minus 130. We've got a total of 8 in this game. Tampa Bay's 27-33 on the road. 32, 26, and 2 to the under on the road. The Giants are 29 and 31 at home, 36, 22, and 2 to the under at home. I'm not going to take under 8 in a game where Verlander is pitching, but I'll definitely take the opposite side. Give me the Tampa Bay Rays here at plus 110. I know Hauser's been bad, but the Rays for sure have the better offense. It seems like it's getting going. They might light up Verlander here, so I definitely think the Rays at plus 110 is a very, very reasonable value. Rounding into the home stretch, guys, we're looking at the San Diego Padres headed to LA to take on the Dodgers. The Padres and Dodgers are playing right now with the Dodgers up 3-1, and we need the Padres to make a comeback. We'll see if they can do that. Now, in game 2 of this series, they're going to hand the ball to Dylan Cease. He is 5-10 this season, a 4.52 ERA, but his last 2 starts at least have been excellent. Shut down the Cardinals and shut down the Red Sox. So we'll see if we can keep that going here, going up against the Dodgers. Obviously not the easiest team to shut down. He's had one amazing start against them back in June and then followed that up with a terrible start against them. So we'll see which version of Cease we get in this game. Obviously the Padres bullpen's been lights out, the best bullpen in the majors this year, and the offense came into this series crushing. 11, 5, 4, 6, and 5 over their last few games is nuts for a team that, hasn't been that great at the plate this year. 22nd in runs scored despite being 8th in both batting and on-base percentage. So we'll see what goes on here. They're taking on a Dodgers team that's, sliding a bit. This is a real battle here for the top spot in the NL West. The Dodgers will hand the ball in this one to Blake Snell. He is 2-1 this year, a 2.37 ERA, fresh off a very good start against the hard-hitting Toronto Blue Jays, so that's impressive stuff. He's only made 4 starts this year, and the Dodgers are 3-1 in those starts. So a lot of positives for them right now, and Blake Snell's on the mound. One negative for the Dodgers is their bullpen. It's been pretty lackluster this year, cost them a lot of games. The offense also hasn't been exactly nuts. I mean, obviously Ohtani's been crazy good, but yeah, now they're going to be missing Muncy there with that oblique issue. They're still first in the majors in runs scored and 4th in batting average, but not the scariest offense right now. So looking at the numbers, guys, the Padres are plus 120. The Dodgers are minus 147. We got a total of 8.5. The Padres are 31 and 32 on the road, 35, 26, and 2 to the under on the road. The Dodgers are 38 and 24 at home, 36, 24, and 2 to the over at home. That's actually an MLB best to the over. I'm probably not going to take the over in this game, though. I would lean more towards the under with these two guys on the mound. And since it's a game that I think could be low scoring and very close, I do tend to lean towards the underdog. So I'll take the Padres as a small lean, but not a game I've got enough confidence in to put in the pinned comment. Last but not least here, guys, we've got the Los Angeles Angels headed to Sacramento to take on the Athletics. Now, the Angels and Athletics are playing right now with the Athletics up 6-3 in the bottom of the 5th inning and they've got the bases loaded. The Angels just swept the Dodgers, so that was pretty crazy stuff. We'll see if they can keep things rolling here for a team that's not technically out of it yet. They'll hand the ball to Tyler Anderson in this game. Their ace last year, and for a couple seasons before that, if I remember correctly, but 2-7 this season, a 4.63 ERA. Got shelled by the Tampa Bay Rays his last time out, only made it 4 innings. He just has not had a very good year. So we'll see what he can do here against the Athletics, a team that he really got shelled by back in late May. Definitely some reason for concern here for Tyler Anderson and for that Angels bullpen that's been one of the 4 or 5 worst bullpens in the majors this season. The offense killed against the Dodgers, but that has not necessarily been the norm for them this season, although they haven't been terrible at the plate. I mean, we've seen guys like Taylor Ward have a pretty good year. They are 14th in the majors in runs scored and 11th in slugging percentage, but 25th in batting average kind of pulls all those numbers down a bit. So we'll see what they can do at the plate here going up against the Athletics, who at 54-69 don't have anything really left to play for. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Luis Morales. He hasn't figured in a result this year, a 1.93 ERA. This is only his 3rd start of the season, but he's been pretty decent in what little action he's seen. I mean, a weird bullpen appearance there against Arizona, but 2 2/3 innings pitched and no runs allowed despite walking 5 there against Baltimore back on the 10th. So not somebody that I have a ton of confidence in, obviously. This is a 22-year-old dude from Cuba. He is going to be going through it, a little bit of nerves, I would assume, out there on the mound. But he's got good stuff. We'll see how it goes for him. The bullpen for the Athletics, pretty bad. One of the 3 worst bullpens in the majors. And the offense, that's actually kind of a bright spot for the Athletics. They're 13th in runs scored. They're 7th in batting average, 5th in slugging percentage. So a real team at the plate, no doubt about that. Looking at the numbers for this game, the Athletics are -115 at home. The Angels are -105. A total of 10.5. The Angels, 26-32 on the road, 31-25-2 to the over on the road. The Athletics are 24-36 at home, 29-27-4 to the over at home. Despite the fact the Athletics aren't very good at home, I expect them to go out there and kind of knock around Tyler Anderson. I'm not expecting him to have a good time, so I'll definitely take the Athletics at -115 in this game, but with Luis Morales out there, probably not enough confidence in their starter or their bullpen to put it in the pinned comment. Guys, that's all the games we have here for today. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. I hope you guys enjoyed a little peek at, little baby Stump. He's growing like a weed, working on tooth number 6. I appreciate everyone's interest in him and my family in general. So shout out to all you guys down in the comments. I appreciate you all watching. Make sure you're clicking the link in the description to get over to stumpthespread.com, get on that free email list. It's great value, straight to your inbox every single day. Also, check out the premium stuff over there if you're interested. And we will see you guys right back here tomorrow, same time, same place, for more sports betting action.